Hey class, welcome to week 7, final week of UNV 104. I hope everyone has enjoyed their past 7 weeks. I've been impressed with the work that's been put forth in this class by many of you. Great effort. I know all of you are going to go off and do wonderful things in the next class and all other future classes. Let's just finish this week strong. Get your participation in, get your final assignment in, keep an eye out on the grading of the final drafts. Okay, so the way I grade the final drafts, and I did mention this in a previous video, is I don't do attachments. Okay, the purpose of grading the final draft is to open up your rough draft and compare it to your final draft. If everything that I put in your rough drafts changed on your final draft, and your final drafts just make those corrections on the rough draft, then it's a great grade. If there's some things that are changed and there's some things that's not changed, then there's deductions. Okay, so you won't see an attachment. Sometimes students will say, hey, I still got a point deduction. What did I not do right? It'll be your responsibility to go back and look at the rough draft comments. And the reason why I do that is because you should have gone back and looked at the rough draft comments and checked off the corrections as you go. So that's going to teach you to now go back to the rough draft a second time and make sure you checked everything off as you go. So make sure that that's what you've done. If that's what you've done, then you're fine. If not, there'll be a point deduction. So just keep in mind into that. Now, this week, your final assignment is a self-reflection. A lot of students are going to say, can I use first person? I would prefer that you don't. You write third person. I know some students will say, well, it says you may use first person in this reflection, but I want you to limit it because a lot of times students use a lot of I's and I did this, and almost every sentence is an I, and that's going to lead to a point deduction. I want you to use little amount of first person. If you could, I would say don't use first person at all. Try to write it all in third person. Okay, like as if you're talking about somebody in the third person, but it's actually you. All right. Make sure you go through the directions. There's no tutorials on this one. By now, you should be reading the directions. You should know how to cite. You should know how to find a source. You should know how to reference. We've just been through that for now 6 weeks. So hopefully you can do that. It's only a 500 to 750 word essay. All right. It does include introduction. It does include a thesis statement, all the same stuff. So make sure you follow the directions. Okay. Again, this may not be my last message. I'll post something in DQ2, but I really hope everybody has a good, wonderful last week of class. And if you need anything, please let me know.